Hello everyone and welcome to the first race of the third season of the International Circuit Superstars Teams Championship. Me and my teammate Ixdo will be driving for Thunder Racing this season and try to get the team's trophy. These qualifiers were very tight. My time was not very good, although I knew I had the pace to be on these top spots because of the previous race that evening. I made some mistakes during qualifier, did not take tight enough lines. Too many of the corners, and this cost me. So yeah, every driver in this race is insanely high skilled. This is giving me invitational vibes. Only now I am in this race, and yeah, this pressure I was feeling it even harder than before in the ICSTC. But anyway, you'll see my lines during this warm-up lap are pretty good, but then during the qualifier itself, tend to go a bit wide, tend to misjudge corners and brake too late. So I don't have enough exit speed during these corners. I go a little bit wide here as well. And then, yeah, this corner is too wide as well, so I lose like 2/10 or so in that corner alone. Which means that this is not going to be my best qualifying session. I tried it again during lap 2. I think if I remember correctly that I improved my time a slight bit. But that was not enough as I go wide again in this corner and I need to fix this during the race as soon as possible. This corner was pretty good. But you see Minardi is closing in on my teammate Ixdo, and Minardi got a high qualification, so we did not. We ended up in P5 and Ixdo was right behind us in P6. So we had a lot of work to do during the race, and we hope to settle that with the tactic that we will be trying to implement. The start of the race went very well, although I think I have hit Whiteman to the side out of the second corner. He seemed fine though, and I think tensions were high for everyone, so needless to say I just carried on driving because he didn't really spin out or something. After that we had some lag issues out of the exit of corner 3, and that messed up my teammate Ixdo, who spun in the 4th corner. After these incidents we had one mission: catch up with Mike Murphy, Paolo and Minardi, who were all 3 in front of us, so we wanted to catch the slipstream. And because I needed to push towards them, my first stint wasn't going to be a fuel saving stint. I didn't want to lose more time than I was already doing, as we see Minardi going wide and we just squeeze on through the inside there of Minardi. Don't really know what happened there, but this is not my race. And Paolo crashing to the side of the road there. Or is it? Yeah, no, that might be Mike Murphy. A lot of things happened during this race. Like there, I needed to brake very heavily to not come in contact with the driver in front of me. And that happened quite a lot during these first few laps. These laps were really insane. We were fighting it out for P1 to P4. And yeah, we just tried to keep it clean with everyone, try to keep our lines clean, and just go on with it because it's a long race and we need to be here all race together if it's gonna be this way. So after pushing hard, we come a little bit closer to Mike Murphy and Paolo, and now we can actually start to maybe look for an overtake. Although we can see that like the tensions between Paolo and Mike Murphy are getting a bit higher. Tried to get a little bit closer here to Mike Murphy by taking a tighter line, but that didn't really work out. Minardi coming closer to me as well, and this just looks like a massive fight is about to break out. And I think like Mike Murphy and Paolo did talk to each other about not trying to mess each other up, which is logic because they're racing for the same team. But then again, you want to gain as many points for the Drivers' Championship as well. So that's one thing. So my strategy here was to pit at lap 8, and then we would see what was about to happen or unfold, and see what the other drivers would do as their strategy. So we still trying to hold on, just trying to push and trying to find a way through, but we can't really seem to get tight enough to Mike Murphy right now to get something done. Although this corner was very good, very tight there. We seem to be closing in a lot during these first couple of corners, but then lose a lot of time during the final ones. As we see Mike Murphy closing in really hard right now on Paulo. They might start battling around right now for that first place as well. Now this is lap 8, so we come in. I practiced this entry a lot because it's important to minimize your loss of time here. I noticed that you can like lose a full place if you don't do that correctly. Also 69 fuel like the previous race on this night. So this is, should be like brainwashed into me right now. Mike Murphy and Paulo still in the correct order of their starting positions. Paulo in first right now, and Mike Murphy still trying to find that gap to overtake Paulo there. We're still battling it out, 4 people, but now this is gonna be my fuel saving stint. Because we caught up, we have time to fuel save right now. With the slipstream we don't lose as much time, and you notice that I start lifting quite soon during that second corner. And now Mike Murphy and Paulo are really tight to each other, almost collapsing there. And you can see that Mike really is trying to get past his teammates. And on this straight you can see the draft coming into effect. I need to slow down very heavy here because I don't really know what's going to happen. Heavy braking here, and Minardi has also caught up right now. So being this careful around others right now was really what we should do, because the server wasn't that responsive for contact. And you can see all 4 of us just trying to get past each other. I'm trying to defend my line here from Minardi, trying to take the inside here, but didn't really work out. Then need to defend from Minardi, who was side by side with me. And then again, just so close racing all the time. And Paulo and Mike Murphy also battling it out. Minardi taking the inside now, so I need to give him some room. On my screen here he pushes me, but on his he doesn't, so it's all good. I need fuel save anyway, so I don't really mind about this spot right now. And we are just fuel saving, so it's all fine. We will try to overtake either way. I don't know the other guys' strategies, so I was a bit skeptic on mine during the race, because I knew they would all like have the right strategy as well. But here Paulo, I'm sorry, going wide. I take the inside of Paulo here. Minardi overtaking Paulo, and yeah, this was some server issues, and then you can see just Paulo crashing out because of the collision detection. And yeah, the server is behaving in a very strange way, and technical issues like that. You see on the top screen Minardi going wide because of a collision as well. And that's just gives in on our perspectives. It's how are they so different, and how the game is currently in this state. Doghouse is sitting behind us right now in fourth, because he overtook Paulo during his incident. Together with me, of course. But now we need to catch up again, and fuel saving isn't really helping with that. But as we can see, there are little particle effects, so we can just have the slipstream effect still with us. Just barely though. As we come around in lap 16, the other guys spit and I stay out, because I can use this free air in front to fuel save and take a pretty fast lap around still. The other guys pitting means that they will undercut me and they will have some distance towards me, but they will need to fuel save still, so I can full push the rest of the race, so during the next 2 stints. Meanwhile, the other guys need to save as well, which I thought was a positive thing for me, because I know when I'm full pushing I can really make something happen. As you can see, Minardi and Mike Murphy passing by, and Doghouse as well, but that was as expected. So now my goal is to catch back up and try to maybe overtake Doghouse in this stint, and then we'll see what the next stint is all about. You can see my lines are a bit more attacking lines, like less safe lines, because I want to push as hard as I can right now. And it's really benefiting me, because you can see Doghouse is struggling to keep his space in front of me, because he saw me coming so fast towards him, I think. Hits the barrier here as well, which means I can try to take the inside there, but that's a difficult maneuver to pull off. And we still need to find this gap to overtake him in a clean way. Here he goes a bit wide, tried to take an inner line, but that doesn't really work out. Couldn't find the grip on that corner. And then tried to take the inside here again, but he defends very well. So we still looking for that gap to overtake him. He tends to go a bit wide on this corner, so I might think about that next lap. Try to stay close, give him some pressure on his heels. But then he goes really wide in this, and yeah, I just take the position. On his screen I hit him, but on my screen I didn't. Again, something to do with the servers, and we just have to cope with that for the moment. So we are now in P3 behind Mike and Minardi, so we try to catch up. To be honest, I think this was the best decision to make for Doghouse as well, since he needed to fuel save, I think. And I think it was safe to say that my pace was a little bit faster than his this day, because in the previous race in ICSTC he also didn't have really solid pace because of his form that day, I think. That's just a personal observation, but I think this was the best decision for both of us. As you can see, I'm already losing him a bit behind me, and creating a little gap as we try to pull up to Mike Murphy again during this stint. The gaps are really closing in, but it's still not close enough to get the slipstream. So my thought process about this was that they were pushing boats, so they would need to fuel save. This was beneficial for me, because I knew I needed to push for these stints, and as you can see, Minardi didn't fuel save, so he went in the pits right now. So his final stint is going to be a saving stint, which isn't really beneficial for him, but he gains some advantage by pitting earlier than us, so effectively undercutting us and gaining some time. Meanwhile, me and Mike Murphy stay out, both go for the final 8-lap stint, so Mike Murphy just finished his fuel saving. Again, my pit entry, I practiced that quite a lot, so I'm happy with that entry, happy with the pit stop here as well. I leave probably at 96 fuel, and we go out. Right behind Mike Murphy, so it was a very good pit stop for me. I could also exit the pit stop sooner, because I knew I can fuel save a tiny little bit extra by being behind him on this final stint. On the top you saw Doghouse just passing by, being a little bit behind us. And me and Mike Murphy are now trying to work together to catch up with Minardi in front. And now you see Kenjo coming out of the pit lane and giving us the slipstream effect, which helps us like enormously during this SketchUp process. So Genjo, thank you very much. So nothing much to talk about here. We're just working together, not really messing each other up. We're just trying to catch up, and Minardi is fuel saving, so there's nothing much he can do about this, including the slipstream effect, of course, which is like a multiplied effect of fuel saving. So we caught up all the way with Mike Murphy and Minardi. They come quite close in contact here. I try to give them space because of the server effects. They try to keep the fight going, but Mike Murphy is just way faster on his fresher tires and isn't fuel saving again, so he is just the faster one here. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find that little gap to overtake him as well. It seems to be that they are struggling a bit to keep the contact out of each other. Again, I just back off here to give them the space they need to recontrol their cars. And then we go flashing around the corners again, trying to looking for that gap for overtaking Minardi here. Or waiting for a mistake, of course. Those are the two things we are keeping in mind. And right here it happens. I traded the outside here of Mike and Minardi, I mean. And yeah, we claim P2 here. And now we are trying to battle for first place, which is something I didn't really expect to happen, because coming in P5 in this lobby means you will probably stay P5 or maybe P4 or P3 if you're lucky. But this was just unexpected for me, that I would catch up with Mike Murphy here in front and fight for P1. I knew Minardi was gonna stick close, but I don't think he could fight for P1 anymore because he was fuel saving, he was slower. And even if he was in front, I think he was still vulnerable for overtaking, and even if he would overtake us, he spends more fuel than needed, and then he probably, yeah, is screwed for the final laps. So me and Mike here fighting for that P1, staying really close here, putting pressure on him and trying to find that gap in these final laps, I must say. I'm trying to get inside here, but slipstream doesn't work in my favor. Then Mike does a mistake, I overtake him here. But that mistake is not what it seems. I tried to get the inside here defended, but he lunges it in. And yeah, he takes the P1 back in the final lap. I tried to make something happen here, quite desperate, not gonna lie. And then yeah, we just finished the race. Now I must say that this incident right here wasn't what it seems, because on his screen I hit him forward, so he was lunged by me, and then here on this screen, for me he hits me, but Mike Murphy didn't hit me on his screen, so then again, that was that. We had to talk about that, and everything is good. In the end, I think my race went very well, so because I came from P5 to battle it out for P1 on the final lap, and I really didn't think this was gonna happen, that I was going to be able to pull this off and push that hard. But I also think that I got the strategy right, and I really think that has made a difference for me. With this race, I take the second place in the driver standings, and Thunder Racing takes second place in the team standings because Ixdo finished in 5th. We are very happy with this result, and we are looking forward to the second race next Sunday, which will be streamed live on my Twitch channel, PerreTV, twitch.tv/PerreTV. Don't mind me being stupid. And yeah, hope you guys to see you guys there, 10 PM CEST, and we will try to fight back against Mike Murphy and of course Minardi in or the Bonk or the Piccinio. It's gonna be Ramford either way, so I will be practicing those laps for sure. I'll see you guys next time, and peace out.